What's up everybody? Welcome back to another video. Thanks for stopping by. It's another beautiful day in sunny South Korea. And guess what? The channel has just hit 500 subs. I'm super stoked. I'm really happy. Thank you so much for all the support, guys. Started the channel about 9 or 10 months ago now. It's been an awesome experience, just, making videos and having people comment and connecting with people and making friends through YouTube. I put up a video a few days ago mentioning that the channel was going to hit 500 subscribers, and I wanted to invite people to drop me some questions so I could make this here first ever Q&A video. And so here it is. Thanks for all the questions. I got a bunch of questions from Instagram and YouTube, and without further ado, let's get the first ever Cool Carbon and Collected Q&A done. First question over here from Lycia. I think it's Lycia. I'm sorry if I'm messing up your name. Lycia. Congrats Lester, but you deserve so much more subscribers. Thank you very much. Appreciate the support. My question, how long do you think you will stay in Korea? I honestly don't know. I haven't set a time limit for myself. I'm probably going to be here indefinitely, at least another 2, 3, maybe 4 years. I have no plan to leave. I'm really loving life in Korea. I'm enjoying it. I have one of the best jobs I've ever had in my entire life, working at the university with just life's really, really good here at the moment, and I'm having a ball. So no plan to leave, but the future can be a very uncertain thing, so we'll see. Tulips 326. My questions: 1. Do you want to teach English in Korea forever or teach anywhere forever? Would you like a vegan related job someday? And what made you decide to go vegan, and how long have you been vegan? Okay, so 2 questions over there, or 3. Do you want to teach English in Korea forever or teach anywhere forever? I don't want to teach English forever. The job can get boring at times, repetitive, tedious, whatever you want to call it. From experience, when I used to teach at an all-boys middle school in Korea. I taught there for 4 years, and the first year or 2 was exciting and new and different. 3rd year was kind of like, okay. 4th year, I'm over this. It's the same thing. Same with some of the other jobs, and I imagine that after a few years of working at a university, the same thing would happen. I'd probably get bored. So for now, I'm enjoying it. I'm really having fun, but forever, no, I don't foresee myself being a teacher forever. Would you like a vegan related job someday? I would absolutely love a vegan related job someday, if it could, support me and I could put food on the table and whatnot. It's always been a bit of a goal of mine, or a dream, to own and run a kind of a vegan restaurant or bar or something to that effect. I really like cooking, as you may or may not know. I just love making food, and one day I think owning something like a vegan restaurant or bakery or cafe, I think that would just be super awesome. So something like that would be awesome. Otherwise, if there's something else vegan related where I could survive and spread the message, and it was job related, I'd definitely be open to that kind of job. What made you decide to go vegan, and how long have you been vegan? I've been vegan a little bit over 1.5 years now. I went vegan. At first I went vegan because of health reasons. I've always had high cholesterol. Doctors were telling me to go on medication, and anyways, to cut a long story short, I researched how to lower cholesterol, found a whole lot of vegan links, ended up watching Earthlings, Cowspiracy, Forks Over Knives, and from then it was a no-brainer. Ended up going vegan. And now, however, it's got nothing to do with the health. Now it's totally for ethics, animals, environment. Health is just, a pretty cool byproduct. Mavic says, did you move to Korea being fairly fluent in Korean, or did you learn most of it by living there? I came to Korea knowing absolutely not one single lick of Korean. I couldn't speak a single word. I didn't even know how to say hello, 안녕하세요. I asked people on the plane, how do you say that? I arrived here with friends of mine, Andrew and Candice. We were actually on the same airplane together, and I think they had some guidebooks and some touristy sort of brochures and stuff, and I was asking them, like, so how do you say hello again? Also arriving here, we had orientation. I was asking people about basic words. I literally knew nothing. I really should have studied a little more before coming here. But everything, all the Korean I learned while being here. Over the past few years, I attended a few classes, did some self-study, and you naturally pick stuff up working in, obviously, Korea. So in the classrooms, when you go to the store and the shops and just interacting with Koreans that don't speak any English, you naturally just pick up the language as you go. But I have put in a good few hours in the classroom, so that has boosted me a lot. Korean's, strangely enough, a really easy language to learn for beginner level anyways. Their alphabet's a lot similar to the English alphabet, believe it or not. They got a bunch of vowels and consonants just like we do, and when you put those letters and symbols together, you spell out words just like you do in English. So the learning, the reading part, I would imagine you'd be able to learn in a few hours. From then you start putting words together, you build your vocabulary, learn a few grammar structures, and practice. So to be honest with you, I'm a bit disappointed in my level for the amount of time that I've been in Korea. I've been here 7.5 years, and I think I should be a lot better than I am for the time I've spent here. But I'm still studying, I'm still planning to study more and more and into the future, and continue with Korean classes and so forth. So my buddy Bradley is a fella I used to work with at an English center just 2 years ago. What's been your most challenging moment in Korea? Good question. What's been my most challenging moment? You know what? I can't think of one particular moment, but I can think of the most challenging period in Korea, which is probably about 2 to 3 years ago. So I was finishing up my master's degree, doing a dissertation. I was paying for this dissertation, which was, I had to pay a 5 million won lump sum, which is like probably around about $5,000. I studied online part-time, by the way, so I didn't attend an actual university. It was a correspondence master's degree through the University of Birmingham. And anyway, so I was doing a master's degree, doing my dissertation. It was towards the end of the master's. At the same time, my sister from back home in South Africa and we bought a property together where she lives now. So I was making a bunch of payments towards this property. I had to pay 5 million won towards the dissertation. I just didn't have any time. I was super broke, super poor. It was a very stressful time, also just while working full-time in Korea. So for me, if I think back, that was definitely one of the toughest periods of my life, to be honest, and especially in Korea. Thanks for the question, Brady boy. A friend of mine from South Africa, Cape Town. What's up, Robert? Do you oaks braai in South Korea? And what would you braai as a vegan? Recently, we've been braaiing quite a lot, actually. I've got 6 months ago, or just at the beginning of this semester, 2 Saffers joined the university where I work and are in the office with me, and are fellow teachers there now, and we've become friends. And they have a really cool apartment up in town with a really nice balcony and a big braai that I think they got from IKEA. It's one of those kind of places, and they're always hosting people, and I've been to, I want to say, like 2 braais at their place in the last month or so. So we have been braaiing a lot in South Korea, and those folks braai regular stuff we would braai in South Africa. They've got pieces of meat. There's no wors here, no boerewors, no sausage, but pieces of meat, steaks, chops, stuff like that, they braai. As for what I eat, a few options in that regard. I'd eat before and not eat at the braai, or just have a few snacks, salads and bread and whatnot. Or I'd put together maybe like a vegetable kebab and put that on the grill, although I'd probably leave it in some foil or something. I'm kind of picky when it comes to my stuff touching the grill that meat's been on. I'm one of those kind of anal vegans. So yeah, we bri, and there's options. Pause. Did you say the girl in your essay vlogs was your girlfriend? Tell us more about her and how you met. What did your family and friends think when you said you were moving to Korea? Do you feel strange? When you go back to SA on holidays after being away for so long? Would you ever move to another country to teach English? How old are you? What goals have you set for yourself, either for this year or long term? Congrats on 500. Oh, quite a few questions there. Let's get through this. The girl from my essay vlogs was my girlfriend at the time. Tell us about her. Tell us more about her, how you met. We met on Tinder, the dating app. We got chatting on Tinder, and we liked each other, and we started chatting and speaking on the phone, and turns out she was an air hostess. We dated for a few months, but it was really hard to meet each other. She never got many flights to Korea. She was Korean, but she was based in Abu Dhabi, so we never got to see each other very often. I invited her along to Cape Town when I went to vacation there, simply because it was free for her to fly. It wasn't like a big financial investment for either of us, and we had a great time in South Africa, and we dated for, I want to say, about 6 months. But after a while, long distance just becomes tough, and we decided to part ways. It was a very amiable breakup, and we're still kind of friends at the moment. There's no hard feelings. What did your family and friends think when you said you were moving to Korea? They were all very supportive. My parents were very supportive. They were like, yo, you should go and do this. Definitely, it's a great experience. It's going to be a great opportunity, great experience. My friends were the same. In fact, one of my friends was the reason that I actually came to Korea. So all my friends were like, cool, have a good time. At first they were like, why Korea? Like, what the hell? What are you going to do in Korea? And I was like, I'm going to go teach. And, people were supportive. Do you feel strange when you go back to SA on holidays after being away for so long? I do feel strange. I've been away from South Africa for 7.5 years now. Whenever I go back, I do feel kind of out of place. I don't have a home there. I don't have my own personal space like I do here. So South Africa isn't like a home where I can do whatever I want. When I go back home, I stay with my parents, and you can't really do whatever you want around your parents. But that being said, it's still kind of like home, but I get bored sometimes because, parents work and are busy, friends work. You can only really meet up with people on the weekends. So I do sometimes feel out of place and sometimes bored. When I'm in South Africa for longer than 3 weeks, I start craving and wanting to come back to Korea, my home here. So definitely do feel a bit out of place when I travel back home. Would you ever move to another country to teach English? Absolutely. I'm always keen for new adventures. One day I might end up moving to another country once, I feel the need to move on from Korea. But like I said earlier, Korea is awesome at the moment. I'm loving it here. I love my job and having a great time. But I'm definitely open to new countries, maybe the Middle East, Japan, other places in Southeast Asia, anywhere that, might seem like a viable option. How old are you? I'm 32 years old, born in 85, born in the 80s. Old. You might be able to see the grays pulling through over there. What's next? What goals have you set for yourself, either for this year or long term? So long term, I want to save up some money while I'm here. I want to buy another property or two and invest where I can, so I can kind of retire at some point in my life and travel. That's kind of the long-term goal. And for short-term goals at the moment, I just want to become a fitness beast. I want to just break all my personal times for half marathons, eventually do a full marathon, do triathlons. I've got a bunch of triathlons coming up in the next few weeks. Actually one this weekend, which is cool. I'll vlog about that. I'll talk more about that in a little bit in a sec. And yeah, I just want to become fit and healthy and cycle and run and do triathlons and swim and become a beast. That's my short-term goal for this year. All right. Next question, Graham Morrissey. Congrats on On subscriber number 500, a question: what do you think your students say when discussing their teacher? I would like to believe that they like me, and when they discuss me, they say nice things about me. You can never be sure though. Generally, I get pretty good reviews. At the end of each semester, for the students to view their grades, they have to do an evaluation on their teacher and teachers. So my evaluations for the most part have been pretty good. Some of the comments do say he's a fun teacher, he's cool, interesting. So I'd like to think that they like me and have nice things to say about me. You know, they might think I'm kind of weird because I do introduce myself as a vegan the first day that we all meet, and they get kind of surprised and they're kind of shocked about that. And veganism is not a very well-known idea here in Korea. So they might think I'm a little bit weird in terms of that, but I hope they like me. I think they like me. They definitely like me. What's something that you'd like the world to know about South Africa? This is from Sharon Budd, by the way. Sharon, what's up? Have you had a visit from anyone back home? What are a few of the places you'd show them? Restaurants that you'd take them to? I'm back in Canada and missing lots of things about Korea. Sorry, well, you did say questions, plural, lol. No problem, plenty of questions. It's perfectly fine. Something I'd like the world to know about South Africa is that it's a beautiful country. It's definitely one of the top countries in the world for just sheer beauty. Cape Town, my hometown, is incredible. It's got mountains, ocean, winelands. It's just breathtakingly beautiful. There's an array of different cultures. The people are great. It's a wonderful place. I mean, like, all places have their ups and downs, right? So I won't really focus on the downs, like, you know, the corruption and crime and blah, blah, blah. I'd like to keep this video positive, but it's definitely well worth a visit if you're thinking about a place to go and visit, travel, tourism. Definitely put South Africa and Cape Town on your list because it's a beautiful place, lots to do, lots to see, great wines, foods to try out, really good vegan restaurants in Cape Town, and in general, you know, lots of interesting and fun, friendly people. So that's something I'd like to know. I'd like the world to know about South Africa. It's my hometown. I'm proud of it. I think it's beautiful. Next question you had here was, have you had a visit from anyone back home? I have. My sister and my cousin visited a few years ago. I want to say 4 or 5 years ago. They visited me over here over Christmas, and a few years later, 2 years later, my sister came again, alone this time. So when my cousin and my sister came, I took them around to Seoul. I showed them the city. I showed them. We went to Insadong, which is a kind of a traditional area, touristy area in the center of Seoul. We went to Hanchik restaurants, like traditional Korean food type restaurants. I also took them with me to the boys' middle school I was working at the time, and we had lunch in the cafeteria with all the students and teachers. After that, we sat down in my principal's office and he introduced himself and spoke to us. And then he also whipped out $100, a US dollar, $100 note, and he gave it to me and he said, take them out for a nice lunch or dinner, which I thought was awesome. I was blown away. That principal, I'll never forget him. He's one of the nicest guys. I mean, he didn't have to give us $100, but you know, just a really nice, caring principal. I'll never forget him. Mr. Han was his name. Okay, next question. Mike Davies, Mike and Angie, what's up guys? Angie asks, how long did it take you to make exercise a habit? I've always really liked exercising, but I want to say I started actually working out and going to the gym and lifting weights, even though you might not really be able to tell. I'm not the biggest guy out there. I started going to the gym and trying to get healthy and work out about 5 or 6 years ago with my mate Graham when we lived in a small town called Okchon. And what made it easier for the exercise to become a habit, what made that easier was that I did it with a friend. So the two of you motivate each other, you make plans together, you don't want to let each other down. At one point we were waking up at like 5 a.m. to go work out before school, before work, and we got into the habit of that, and it was awesome. It felt good, you felt energized, you felt good for the day. So that was probably the beginning of exercise becoming a habit for me. And ever since then, I've always tried to maintain that habit. And whenever I'm done with a workout, I feel, high on life, and I feel energized and I feel great, and you just sleep so well, and rewarding yourself with a nice meal afterwards is just really pleasurable. So how long did it take? It didn't take very long. You just put your mind to it, you do it, and everything else follows. Mike asks, do you ever meet friends at a barbecue restaurant? If so, what do you eat there? I haven't been to a barbecue restaurant in forever. I want to say probably about a year. The last time I went to a samgyeopsal restaurant was probably about a year ago. And what I ate there was rice, some of the vegan sides, just some of the plant-based stuff. But what happens these days is, if my friends go hang out and they want to go eat dinner, 9 times out of 10 they'll go somewhere else after the restaurant for a few beers or to a cafe for coffee or something. In that case, I'll just be like, yo, I'll meet you guys after dinner, let me know where you are, and we'll have a beer or something. One more question over here from Frizz Muffin. What made you move to Korea? Was it just work? And you've done vlogs on the meals you eat, and I suggested you make something sweet and vegan a few vids ago. Could you do that in another vid? Okay, Frizz, well, what made me move to Korea was a friend of mine. I just answered a question from him a few questions ago. Graham, he asked the question about what do I think students say about me when they're talking about me. That guy came to Korea about a year and a half before I came. A few months after that, he was back in South Africa on vacation, telling me how cool Korea was and how fun it is and how cool the teaching is and the life and the experience and the traveling and the freedom. And it got me thinking. Around about that time, I was applying for law jobs. My major was law at the time, and I needed to go out and do my articles or internship. And I just thought getting a law job and working my ass off and sitting in an office, and that was going to be boring. So I looked into Korea. Next thing you know, I got accepted into the EPIC program, which is the English program in Korea. And a few months later, I was here in Korea. Was only ever intending to stay for a year or two, save up money and go back and become a lawyer. But hey, look what happened. 7.5 years, still here, living it up. Yeah, I've done a bunch of meal vlogs and cooking videos, and I suggested you make something sweet and vegan in a few vids. Could you do that in another vid? I'm definitely planning to do another cooking video soon. I've been really busy lately, and I'm quite a full schedule for the next few weeks coming, but I've got a really cool idea for a cooking video, a dessert type video. I'm not going to tell you what it is just yet. You'll have to wait and see, but it's going to be awesome. Boom! Guys, that's it for the Q&A. Thanks for all the questions. Like I said, I really appreciate the support. Thanks for watching. Here's to the next 500 subscribers and for many more after that. Coming up in the future this weekend actually is my second ever triathlon. For sure going to be vlogging that. It's going to be quite an adventure, can't wait. Coming up into August, it's vacation time, and I'm planning a short Euro trip. So I just recently got all my visas approved. As a South African, you need visas to go everywhere and anywhere. Kind of sucks. But I got my visa, my Schengen visa for Amsterdam. Going to be visiting friends in Amsterdam, and then I'm going to pop off over to London and Plymouth to meet more friends in England. So definitely going to be vlogging that too. So stay tuned to the channel if you want to see some cool, exciting adventure stuff, travel vlogs, and yeah, there we go. As always, thanks for watching. I'll see you all in the next video. Peace.